This storm looks almost identical to the storm that's in Tulsa. We think that that is a tornado. We do not have anyone on the ground at that location to clarify or to at least confirm, but we do believe that it's very close to the same environment. So there's a high probability, Dick Thoreau was saying very high probability that that is close to a tornado. If it is not a tornado, moving in on Nowata. If you are in Nowata, please take cover. If you are west-southwest of Nowata, please take cover right now from a tornado or most likely a tornado. You are under a tornado warning in central Nowata County that goes through Cooties Bluff as well. Back into the Tulsa area, we're going to come back and look at this again. This is again the look at what's happening as the tornado is on the ground at this time southwest of Owasso. This is on 76th Street North to 56th Street North at this time, just west of Mingo. And so this is the location in which we're seeing this as the tornado is on the ground. Even though it does not look like it, it is. And the funnel cloud itself is halfway. See it spiraling. And as Marty Logan said a little earlier, there was so much turbulence going on in this particular cell when it was just west of Tulsa. It continues to move at a rate of about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Is that right, Dick? You think on that? About right at that?
About 25 to 30 fits, but
slow down.
Quite as fast.
Okay. And this will take it right on into near Owasso on the south side or central side, really through central and southern Owasso County at this time if it's moving almost due east. So if you are anywhere from North Mingo Road, 76th Street North, say it again, Q. Okay, and you got it, all right, and we're going to pull it back so now we can see everything going on. So Will's up in the sky. Will, are you there?
I'm here, Travis.
Right.
Now we're going to try to zoom in. What we're noticing is it's going up and down, like it just dissipated, but I still see a lot of rotation in that area. Right now we're looking on the ground. We can still see a little bit debris on the ground, but we don't see the, if you will, like we did before, the rotation from the cloud to the ground. So again, it's still out there. It's kind of ebbing up and down, almost like skipping a little bit as we make our way between 46th Street and 56th Street, like you said, just west of Mingo at this time, but still moving. Now we are just due north of the airport, maybe a half mile due north of the airport, moving eastbound, northeast, right towards, I'd say, 56th Street and Highway 169, I'd say, is about the intersection, maybe just on the north side of 56th Street is where this is going to cross 169. Travis?
Hey, Will, thanks. And yes, that is still on the ground, and it is still rotating. A whole wall cloud's rotating. We got the tornado right underneath it. It's still on the ground, even though at times, as you said, it is weaker. To give you perspective again, this is where Will has said, and I'll be back with Will in just a minute. Nick, you got to keep me updated on Nowata if you would. But the area from Mingo, North Mingo, right at 56th Street North, and then that extends now on the southwest side of Owasso. If you are in that area, we need you to be taking cover in Owasso. There's a huge hail core with this on the north side. It is wrapped up. We think this tornado will continue for a while. It's cycling. We do have a big wall cloud rotating base to this, and so it continues. And it still looks like the potential is there for, it looks like it's weakened just slightly. But I do believe that if it's not on the ground, it is very close to it. You can see the striations of the rain cloud and rain bands around it, giving a pretty good indication that that is still rotating. And there's a pretty high probability that we do have damage occurring right at the base of that. Again, we're looking at this camera that's at the lower left side of your TV screen. This is from the First Bank of Owasso building. We call it the skyscraper in Owasso, but this is a cell that is going to be from central Owasso to southern Owasso. If you're on the north side, you have a hail core coming right at you at this time, but it is wrapped up, and we do expect this to go back down potentially into a tornado. So you're still under a tornado warning in Owasso through 8 o'clock right now, and the hail core continues to show up. You can see this black core up to the north. This is where the hail core is located. We do expect golf ball size or larger hail with this storm as it continues to track. So we do have a tornado on the ground, continuing off and on. You see the cone again reforming at this time of the funnel cloud part. And that is on the ground, still expected, it's still doing damage. I still see that. You can see the water condensation going on down at the base of it at this time. This is now at Mingo Road and 56th Street North. If you are right at Mingo Road, 56th Street North, this is going just on the south side of Owasso. Again, it's not a monster tornado, so we're thankful about that, but it's still a tornado. It's going to do damage. Make sure you are inside your house and make sure that you have yourself away from windows and outside walls. And also the Nowata storm, I'm going to punch over to that in a minute, but let's go to Will real quick. Will?
Travis, it just crossed Mingo right now. We saw the power flashes from the telephone poles arcing when they were touching with the wind. It is on the ground. Even though it's weak, it's hard to see the actual tornado from the clouds to the ground, but we can see the debris up off the ground. Right now, it's got a little bit of rain. We're looking in there, and we can see it's still picking up to the ground. I don't know if Mike can zoom out a little bit and show you a little perspective. Right there in the center, left center of your screen. See it now. It is on the east side of Mingo, moving, like you say, probably at about 20.
Will be back with us again. It's just in around the thunderstorm there, and we're looking at our camera now in Owasso getting nailed with some very heavy rainfall at this time. Looks like it's getting strong winds with that at this time coming in on it. This is again right in Owasso, and looking at it from the radar perspective, we're over Mingo Road now, moving across, getting ready to move across 169. Camera is right on this belt of where it's getting hammered at this time. Hail, winds to 70 miles per hour or more are likely on the northern side of Owasso. You need to be in an interior room away from outside windows and walls. Go to your safe room at this time if you have one. I see
the
Marty's
folks at Bob Ford are doing something they've never done. They're taking 7.
We have the tornado on the ground right now, just on the areas from around North Mingo, and then that extends over to 169. Will, are you there? Will, go ahead.
Travis, it's just now east of 169. It's about to cross 169 right in the vicinity of 56th Street. We're in the Bird Creek area there. You can see where all the bridge construction is. And we're trying to get it zoom in there. We're going to move a little bit to the right, Mike. You can see right in that area. And we're looking in there. It's hard now as we see the rain still intensify. It's starting to get a little rain wrap, like we said earlier. It's weak, but it's still, we can see the debris off the ground at this time, Travis.
All right, and also, we'll stay on that right there. We'll be right back to you. We're going to go up to Nowata for just a second and take a look at what's going on there. Dick Farrow has been covering this storm for us as well. If we could, let's give me radar control, at least half. There we go. This is the Nowata storm in Nowata right now. Tornado warning in Nowata. If you are right around the areas from Nowata to Cooties Bluff to Childers to Sanders, we need you to be taking cover or in cover right now. Your tornado warning continues in effect for about another 30 minutes. Again, a possibility of a tornado. We have not been able to confirm a tornado with that one. We are confirming the Tulsa tornado at this time. Back into Tulsa, we are still right on 169. That is the tornado right there. It's a hook echo, as we call it, and I'm looking at it on what we call velocities, which is a different radar screen on another picture. But right now, strong indication of hail, extremely heavy rain in Owasso with a tornado continuing in this area. And right now, if you would, Will, go ahead, give me a perspective of what you're seeing.
And Travis, where you see the center of your screen.
Again, so Will has that picture.
It's moving over 169 and 56th Street. You can see that funnel cloud now right in the center of your screen, and it's directly over 56th Street and 169. Travis?
All right, and you can see it rotating. Will's got a great picture of that. It's a rotating wall cloud right now all over that at this time, as it is just situated over, if you're at 66th Street North, down to really about 36th Street North, 46th Street North. That is the primary area where you're going to get some strong winds. On the backside of this, there could be some damaging winds of 70, 80 miles per hour. The tornado itself is centered right there near 169 and 56th Street North. And we do have a tornado warning that continues in effect for southwestern Rogers County, northeastern Tulsa County. That's the one. And we have confirmed, obviously, a tornado is on the ground. National Weather Service saying that we will continue with this warning through 8:15. We're at 8:37 right now. The rotation continues to show up. The funnel cloud continues to be right there, and it has been on the ground now for a considerable period of time, and it has cycled somewhat, but we continue to have a very strong indication that the rotation is there.
I've got a track on it for you. It'll be headed to Caremore, verdigris if it maintains itself. Caremore at around 8:03, verdigris at around 7:53. Just to give you an idea, and as it moves out of the Tulsa area and moves on into southern part of Rogers County, kind of give those folks downstream an idea about when it might be impacting them. So that's something those folks need to be aware of also, Travis.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. And we do have, who's on REM 37 station? JC. Okay, and that'll be some of the tornado damage that's coming into us as well. I'd like to, what we're going to stay just with what's going on right now. This is over Owasso still, so we're still in Owasso, and it's still showing up. Let me get this, so it's to the east side at this time of 169. It's hugging 56th Street North, so it's staying just on the south side of Owasso. But if you are in Owasso, extremely heavy rain. Marty is in the middle of that right now. I don't know if Marty is near the phone as well, but we're going to be talking to him in just a minute. Let's go back to Will. I don't know if you have I see the sun setting on the shot. I see the funnel. Tell us a little bit more. What do you have?
It's correct, Travis. That is now, like you say, 56th Street. And that funnel cloud just developed as we were coming on the air here. We got it backlit with the sun, but right now we believe it's just a funnel cloud. We can't see it touching down, but again, it's a thick and wide funnel cloud as we continue to move around here. We are just due east of it over the quarries, just north of 46th Street, as it continues to move mostly eastbound right now. We don't even see it really going northeast at all as we continue between 46th Street and 56th Street, moving along in an easterly pattern. Travis?
All right, again, it's halfway to the ground. That means it's on the ground. So again, tornado still on the ground as that continues to show up in an area that's just along 56th Street North. And Will is located right in this area. He's looking straight back into it with the setting of the sun. And you can see that. So that cone is right there. So a tornado still on the ground. And we're situated now just on about 145th East Avenue, and sitting right at 56th Street at this time. So this is the location of where the tornado is, and this is the location of where the tornado is headed, is just off to the east, as Dick was saying. It's almost a due east movement at this particular time, and we do have debris in the air. So Dick is seeing that the dual pole radar is showing debris in the air, so that has sucked up debris. And so there is a high probability that it has done a lot of damage in certain areas along this path that's been on 56th Street North. Again, if you're just north of this, you will have to be advised that this is an area in which you're picking up some large hail and the potential for some extremely heavy downpours of rain. Tornado warning still is in effect for areas just to around the Nowata area. Good news so far is that that storm is just on the north side of Nowata as well, but it still continues to show signs of strong rotation, but it is not as strong as it was. The tornado warning continues in effect right now for just southeast of Owasso, and you can see it with the funnel cloud now holding a little bit more steady, and you can see it's still moving. Now we're at 76th Street North to about 45th Street North, and it is now moving almost to State Highway 167 where Will is located. He's looking back at that little core is about right here, that little area that's hanging down. Will, you want to give us another update?
Travis, right now we just see that wall cloud. We don't see it. It is still trying to make funnel clouds. You can see there going up and down. It's in a life cycle that wants to develop a little bit more, but it seems to be ebbing right here. We're going to continue to track it. Now, you're talking about debris. We saw large pieces of debris.
All right, so Will's in and out.
Funnel cloud right there starting to develop, and it continues to develop up and down here with large debris in the air. We saw large portions of aluminum roofs, metal roofs coming off and flying out around 169 east and west side of it. So again, if you're outside, be careful of any flying objects that are out here, as well as the tornado that's coming out. So again, it's just not the tornado, but it's the debris that's out in this area. And you can look at this funnel cloud really starting to get defined out here. Now we are just south of 56th Street, north of 46, right in the middle here on the just by the quarries. That's at the quarries right now. It's on the ground again, Travis. It is on the ground at the quarries, moving eastbound, right between 46th Street and 56th Street, moving directly towards the Port of Catoosa.
All
Travis?
Right. Yeah, if you guys can stay right on that close in, that'd be great for just a little bit. Again, that is going to be bouncing up and down for a while, so that's cycling, and as it cycles, it'll continue. Again, the good news is small tornado, bad news, it's a tornado. The circulation feature continues to be fairly strong in that. Dick Farrow's watching that, as well as the Nowata storm, and it's still rotating at a very high rate, so we continue to have issues with what's going on with that particular cell. That is, again, just south of on the south side of Owasso at 76th Street. So again, the tornado warning continues in effect for areas of extreme eastern of northern Tulsa County and moving into Rogers County now as we speak. So if you're in these areas, we do need you to continue to be very mindful of what's happening. This will be moving near Verdigris if this can hold together for a while longer. This is running on an area back on the ground again. So Will has it. Check that out again. That's just on the ground. Will, it looks like that's an open field right in there. Is that right?
That's correct. We're just, like I said, north of 46, literally right in the middle between 46th Street and 56th Street, about a mile south of Gundy's, if you will. Now we're moving towards the Patriot Golf Course in that community. I'd say it's maybe a quarter mile from that as it continues to move eastbound towards the Port of Catoosa. Travis?
All right, Will, so again, we are going to make an estimate. You know, this is smaller end scale, EF0, EF1, but it doesn't matter as that continues to move in. So stay tight on that if you would. And if we could just, again,
Travis,
look at
that's going to be Stone Canyon out here. This is Stone Canyon that it's right on the west side of right now as it continues to kind of skip around this area.
All right, again, you're looking at, again, tornado just southeast side of Owasso at this time. Tornado warning continuing in effect for the areas of northern Tulsa County, but this is going to be right along the area from about 193rd East Avenue and 66th to 55th Street up to 76th Street. So again, around 193rd Street between 76th and about 56th to maybe 46th Street North. That is the zone in which we are watching at this particular moment as that continues to be wrapped up. So it's wrapping up on itself one more time again, and so you see it on the ground. Will, as you're looking at that, again, as those continue to drop down, it's right in, now you're getting into the subdivision.
Correct, Travis. It's now getting into residential area for the first time since it's been on the ground over by Mohawk Lake and the reservoir. We are now getting into Stone Canyon in that residential area. That's to the northwest of the Port of Catoosa, as well as that the golf course that's out here. You can see it skipping through that area, but again, it is on the ground in the Stone Canyon area. Travis?
Right. And if you're in this area, you need to take cover, obviously, immediately. That goes almost without saying. This tornado warning is part of, again, it pretty much just vaporized, came in upon itself right now, but it is rotating still. There's a huge rotating wall cloud, and this is Sky News 6 right in here. Marty is right in here, and we're watching this as it continues to track across the area from 76th Street North, 66th Street North, and so it's wrapped up on itself right now. And Will, I cannot tell from that picture as we're looking at it, that's going to be going between Valley Park and Verdigris. These are the two areas in which, if you're in this zone, you're right in between where this cell's going. So as we go street by street on this particular cell. Again, the rotating area, as you're looking at it, Will, I think it's still potentially on the ground. Does it look like it there?
It is on the ground, Travis. Yeah. It's weak on the ground. I'd say it's more like a pencil width, but it is on the ground. And like you say, the direction is towards Verdigris. Right now, we are just crossing the north side of the Port of Catoosa as it just made its way through Stone Canyon here. We can see it right there. You see the house right there and the debris as it's hitting the houses in Stone Canyon. There's the debris off of some roofs. I hope people are taking cover in this area as it continues to move eastbound, and it's moving truly eastbound between 56th Street and 46th Street, making its way towards Verdigris right now. But again, Stone Canyon, you can see the debris that's out in that area as it's making its way through that residential area. And again, everybody, I hope they're taking their precautions, their tornado precautions, and they're in cover. But again, north side of Catoosa, we're continuing to move out into the Verdigris area. Travis?
All right, Will, yes, this is, again, for folks who are just joining us, this is on the southeast side right now of Owasso. A tornado warning has been in effect for over an hour and a half to almost 2 hours now, and this is a storm that continues to track right across. This is one of the first subdivisions we've had since it's been in North Tulsa, and again, some of the debris is falling. The good news is there's not a ton of debris, which means it's a smaller tornado. Bad news is, again, continues, it's a tornado moving through this area. So this is underneath a huge wall cloud, and so these are spin-ups that are occurring underneath this huge area of literally air being sucked up into this large supercellular storm, which is going on right now. Will, I'm looking at it, and again, it's getting hazy, obviously, because the sun's setting. But we're seeing that, again, still, is that moving on the east side now of the addition? And Will, he has to talk, obviously, to different folks in that area. But this is the location again. Again, he's right near the airport, so he has to be talking about that. But the rotating area is right in here, so we're in the same spot we have been. This is moving again just between the Verdigris area, which is here, and Valley Park. So this is on the southeast side of Owasso, and that's what we're looking at right now. So it goes from about 193rd East Avenue to, we'll say, as far north as 86th Street and as far south as 46th Street. And this is still wrapped up, and it's still a tornado. and it's still going strong right in this particular zone. So this is going to continue to track to the east, and this is going to be taking it from around the Verdigris area and then back a little bit further to the east. And Dick has why don't you give us a quick update on where this should go?
Yeah, Verdigris, it's going to be passing very close here, possibly just north of Verdigris. That'll be the 7:51, current time is 7:48. Caremore will probably stay south of there, but again, if it should take a little bit of a turn, Caremore at around 8:02, Taiwa at around 8:08, and Taiwa would appear to be very much directly in the path of. By the way, I need to mention that storm up in Nowata County very quickly, Travis. That storm has weakened considerably, still severe, but the tornado warning has been allowed to expire up there. But the folks up in Nowata County are still dealing with a severe storm up there.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Dick. And as we look at what's going on, Will's still on this. The tornado warning that we have again for extreme eastern portions of Tulsa County, around the Owasso area, moving into Rogers County at this time. The circulation feature is still quite evident going on. Wall cloud is still there. Will, are you with me right now?
Travis, I'm back with you.
Okay.
Like you said, making some radio calls out here. Right now, we just see it more as a wall cloud, a defined wall cloud. Have Mike zoom out a little bit and move right there on the left side of your or right side of your screen. You can see the defined wall cloud, but it's not on the ground at this time that we can see. It's picked itself up just on the north side of Catoosa, kind of crossing Highway 266 here just on the north side of that, making its way towards Verdigris, maybe just south of Caremore, maybe between Verdigris and Caremore. We see it kind of now taking a more east by northeast track, whereas earlier it was going due eastbound. We see it going more east by northeast at this time, starting to resume, if you will, in a northeasterly direction, but not quite moving that way. But we do see a lot of rain out here. We still have lightning, so the life cycle is still high out here, Travis, and we can still continue to see it kind of go up and down with the wall clouds. Travis?
Well, that's correct, and it is a cycling system in which
we have it back
it's
on the
back
ground
on the ground.
right there.
Yep, and
it's back on the ground, Travis.
I see it. So again, yeah, you're right in the same.
It's back. We're just saying it's back on the ground. Again,
Yep.
It's a weak tornado, but we have seen debris in the air, so it is a tornado, like you said. And right there, you can see it on the ground, center of your screen, the dirt and such like that in the middle of the field. Right now, it's in the field, making its way out towards the Verdigris area, just north of 266, making its way east by northeast slightly, and continuing to travel out this way. Again, ebbing, kind of going up and down, but still never knowing where it's going to be on the ground. Travis?
All right, Will, and just and kind of give you the perspective of what you're saying, put it on a map so folks can see this. Owasso is back over in this area, but we're looking again. Verdigris is right in here. And then as we look at from Keatonville Hill, Valley Park, this is just south of you guys. And so it's right on the Keatonville Road. And then that is extending back to the south a little bit. This will take it just on the north side of Verdigris. But if you're on the north side of Verdigris or in Verdigris, you do need to be taking cover along 8th Street. This, you can just see it circle. You can see that circular feature that's going on right there. And even though it is a weak tornado, it's still going to do damage, still can blow out windows in your house. It can still cause roof damage. And so we want you to make sure that you're moving to a place of safety and in this zone, because it's very important that you do that at this time. Debris signature continues to show up on our radar, which means the debris is still getting picked up. You can see the funnel cloud still going strong in that area. Tornado warning continues in effect for our area. As Dick mentioned, if you're up around Nowata, the good news is that tornado warning is that canceled, Dick, now? It is canceled now. So the main tornado and tornado warning we have is southwestern Rogers County and far northeastern Tulsa County, and that's going to continue for a little bit longer as that continues to wrap up. And they're getting ready to reissue, okay? Okay, and the tornado warning going to be reissued for Nowata County cell coming up. And Dick, I'll have you look at that in just a second. Again, we're right in the middle of it. Val is underneath there at this time, and Marty is real close to it, and Sky News 6 underneath it at this hour as well, as we're looking at where this is headed. And again, you can see it's still wrapped up, still going strong. And Will, if you're with me, give me another update, will you?
Travis, right now, like you said, we're just north of 266. I'd say we're just about a mile. And you can see the lightning out here again. The life cycle is starting to pick back up with the wind and the lightning. And again, we're about a mile from the Verdigris, northwest of Verdigris, moving just between Verdigris and Caremore as we make our way towards Route 66 in this area. And we have it on the ground, debris out in this area. We can see some farm buildings and outbuildings right now. We have it on the ground, and this looks to be a little bit stronger than even earlier as we see the debris being picked up from the buildings and off the ground. Travis?
Yeah, just stay on that because, yeah, what we're seeing right now as we look at it, again, that's still wrapped up very tightly, and that is on East 530 Road, and that is on the South 490 Road right now, just south of the Keatonville Road, and that is moving to the east northeast. That's going to be taking it across areas that should intersect the Lynn Riggs Boulevard and the Will Rogers Turnpike in just a little bit as that moves toward Caremore. If you're in Caremore, we need you to start getting ready to take cover if this continues, and so far we have seen no reason for it to stop, and so the addition of severe weather and the potential for a tornado remains extremely high. If you are in areas just to the south and west of Caremore, right now Caremore getting nailed with extremely heavy downpours of rain, hail associated with that. Our rotating area is still the tornado. That is going to continue to track to the east, and that should go just on the south side of Caremore unless it tries to veer a little bit. We still have the tornado on the ground. Marty Logan has that right now. Marty, if you're with me, tell me what you have. Marty?
Okay, we are Keatonville and Arkansas Road. This tornado is on the ground off to our northeast. I don't see the debris on the ground right now. We're getting closer to it, guys. It's real difficult to see out here. Maybe it's not on the ground. We may just have a funnel. But you can see it in the center of my shot. We did have it on the ground just a minute ago, just like the pilot was talking about. We're moving closer to it, going across the Verdigris River right now, eastbound, headed that way. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Marty. Marty is underneath it right now again. So this is what we're looking at, continuing to cycle, and this will cycle because it is just kind of in that situation where it's not strong enough to maintain a constant presence, and that's thankfully. That's not happening, but we still have the rotating area showing up again just in an area just to the west, I should say to the north of Verdigris. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer on that. Dick, have you been watching the Nowata storm too?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, go ahead and give us a quick update on that as we have a brief break from the tornado. I'm sure I'll be right back.
This storm has cycled also, and it has gotten its act together once again a little bit better. Just near the Childers area, it is moving to the northeast again at about 30 miles an hour. As you can see, that'll put it in the vicinity of Centralia, and it looks to be headed directly towards Centralia at around 8:11. Current time is 7:55. So you folks there in the northeastern corner of Nowata County need to be aware of this particular storm. It had weakened as it moved over Nowata itself, but it has since strengthened somewhat, and the circulation now looks to be much better defined. Obviously some hail on the north side of that, strong circulation on the south side of it as it moves on towards Centralia. Travis?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Again, for the folks up in Nowata, please take care. And we have with us as well, Val is on our storm. Val, if you're with me right now, what do you have? What are you seeing?
Off to the left.
Okay, yes, right now we are on Highway 266, and we're getting on Highway 66. We've been watching the tornado now for a while. At times the condensation comes all the way to the ground. At times it pulls back up. We've seen numerous power flashes. I'm making the curve around to get on Highway 66 right now, and the tornado, the funnel is about maybe halfway to the ground or so. If you've got my stream, we're going to stop here just for a second because we got a good shot of it. And this is looking back to the west. So it looks like to me that it's going to pass near or south of Caremore. Is that what you're seeing on your projections?
That is correct. If we can continue the current rate, that is correct. It'll be just on the south side. And
okay.
And have you seen it on the ground? I know you've been right with it there for a little bit.
Yes. Oh, yes. I mean, from time to time. Right now, the funnel is about, I'd say, a little higher up than halfway to the ground. Right now, it looks like it's trying to come back down again.
Halfway to the ground.
As a matter of fact. Now, we've seen numerous power flashes, so this thing has done damage pretty much probably continuously, almost continuously the whole way.
It has.
Is there another one over there?
Right now, it's taken on more of a ropey look to it. It looks like to me it's trying to rope out a little bit. I mean, I can't guarantee it's roping out, but the funnel part is about halfway to the ground. I'm going to try to get a little closer here and get a better shot, see if I can see anything on the ground. We're behind the bridge right here.
All right. I appreciate that. Val, appreciate it. I'm going to go on back, and as we look at it, we got Sky News 6 back? Okay, great. Will, are you there yet?
Hey, Travis, I'm right with you. If you look at the center of our screen here as it gets dark, now this is just about, I'd say, a half mile, 3/4 of a mile on the west side of Route 66. You can see it roping out on the ground like we were talking about earlier. It is here now. We have seen it go through some residential areas. We saw the debris, but it's still now moving out towards Route 66 where there's a lot more commercial and residential areas here. We are just to the northwest of Verdigris and to the southwest of Caremore at this time. In that triangle, if you will, about a half mile to the west of Route 66, continuing to move east by northeast. So again, it's going to stay to the north of Verdigris, hit the southern part of Caremore somewhere as it crosses Route 66 and the Will Rogers Turnpike. Travis?
All right, Will, I appreciate it very much. Thank you again for that information. And let's go over to Vaughn for a moment and take a look at what's going on with Vaughn. I know the circulation feature continues to be relatively strong. It's cycling back in right now around Highway 4, well, I should say Road 510, and where it intersects with South 4120 Road. And Vaughn, I know you're looking at it as well from the Will Rogers Turnpike. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I'm at the exit of the Verdigris exit on the Will Rogers Turnpike. There's nothing. There's no funnel cloud right now. Just it's spinning really tight at the base. Getting some strong RFD out of this. So it's still wrapped up really tight, but nothing right now that I can see, Travis. Not even a funnel cloud right now. But at any time it could produce another funnel cloud. Back to you, Travis.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, who's with us? Val, are you still online?
Yeah, Val's on.
Okay. Hey, do you see anything else with Vaughn? From your perspective?
Yeah, the tornado appears to be roping out, but I guarantee you there is strong rotation still in the clouds. We just now saw a power flash. Looked like to me it was on Highway 66 right up ahead of us, maybe a half to 3/4 of a mile. And that was probably just due to, the circulation around it or something. But right now the circulation is crossing Highway 66. And very shortly after that, it's going to be crossing I-44 south of Caremore. The tornado, from my vantage point, I don't see it anymore. It's roped out. We just sat there and watched it rope out. But like I said, there is very strong rotation still in that wall cloud. Back to you.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it, Val. And let's go over to Will, Sky News 6. Will, what do you have for us? What does it look like from your perspective?
Well, Travis, right now we do not see it on the ground. Like we said, it looks like the wall clouds come up. Now we see some rain. That's a rain curtain that we believe right there. You see in the center of your screen right now. As we zoom in, you can see that. But we do not see any debris or anything like that. It was a weak tornado, so it is hard to see sometimes from the funnel cloud to the ground, but we do not even see a funnel cloud or any debris on the ground at this time. But we're continuing to search because, again, being a weak tornado, it has been on the ground when we haven't been able to spot it very quickly. So we're going to continue to look as it moves. Now it is moving to the northeast, north of the Verdigris, on the south side of Caremore, and I'd say it's coming up right now, maybe a 1/4 mile, almost over Route 66, moving towards Will Rogers. So again, people in those areas need to take the precautions they need to. We can see some lowerings every now and again, but again, it's hard to see if it's a defined funnel cloud or not. As we move in, there's some power flashes. That tells us something's on the ground out there, some high winds. We might come to the right a little bit. Right in there, you can start to see rotation right there on the right side of your screen. Right there, you see that rotation? That's where it's back on the ground. This is on the south side of Caremore right now. We see the power flashes in that area. It just came back down again. It just defined that definition. We can see the power flashes. It's about to cross. It just crossed Route 66, and it looks like it's moving midway between 66 and I-44 at this time. Again, south side of Caremore, moving east-northeast at this time. Travis?
Right, Will, I appreciate that. And if we can double box or go back to our boxes for a second so I can show folks on where it is. This is the one that's up to the north. If this tornado warning still for Centralia, Cockleburg Flats, and this is northeast of Nowata right now. Dick's doing a storm track on that. Coming back to ours, this is on the south side of Caremore. This is Caremore right up in this area, okay? So literally the rotating area that we're talking about is right here, and this is where we have right now. Val has some, right now, Val, are you there?
Guys, can you hear us?
All right.
Tornado down.
Tornado on the ground, and it's getting bigger again.
All right, on the south side of Caremore, right now, there's the tornado on the ground. On the
road.
Is it right on Lynn? It should be on
Tornado down.
Yeah, on Lynn Riggs Boulevard, on between 500 Road and Southeast Flint.
It's getting big.
All right, if you are in that area, and what is that? Marty's on there too? Okay.
Look at that.
Our guys are all online. You guys are all live right now. The tornado's on the ground right now. Val, give me an update. What do you got? Or just
okay, tornado is on the ground, and I think it's probably getting very close. If it's not on I-44 right now on the south edge of Caremore, or maybe just south of Caremore, it's rapidly gotten bigger. We just saw a big debris cloud just a minute ago. I don't know. Do you have my live stream?
Yeah, we've got Val. Yeah, Val, we've got yours right now.
All right, well, look at my shot
Big.
here. You'll see it.
We see it.
It's on the ground. I mean, it's gotten. I mean, that the other one roped out, and this is a new one that formed just a little bit further to the east, to the northeast of it.
All right,
And it's
I'm going to
It's got a big debris cloud.
Hang on, Val, for 1 second. This is on the south side of Caremore right now. If you're on South Muskogee Road between Southeast Flint and extending just into the downtown area and just on down to the south a little bit on East 520 Road, you need to be taking cover. The circulation is right there. That's where the tornado is located right now. And so the tornado on the ground right at this second. So if you're in this area of southern Caremore, just as Dick had mentioned a little bit ago, you need to be taking cover right now. Tornado on the ground. Will, are you still there?
Yeah, Travis, it's getting pretty dark, but we got that funnel cloud on the ground, backlit against Caremore right here. It just crossed I-44. As you can still see, it's moving, and it is a much lower area. You can see the top part where it's real dark, a defined lowering, and it is a thick funnel cloud. It looks like it's even picked up intensity from what we had earlier in the day. So again, we see it on the ground. It looks to be a much larger funnel tornado than we saw earlier. So again, not as weak as the ones we saw, but moving east, northeast. And again, we can see it up against the city. You can see the darkness, how low the ceilings are, and then how thick that funnel part of the tornado is right there as it's moving from the wall cloud down to the ground. Again, putting up a lot of debris. It's hard to see with the camera. We can still see it with our naked eye up here a little bit, but again, hard to see with the camera, so we're just trying to backlight it for you. Travis?
All right, Will, thanks. I appreciate it. Again, everything Sky News 6 has been doing, Osage Sky News 6 HD. Thank you, guys. I'm going to get down to Vaughn. Vaughn, right now, you look like you're real close to the tornado, as well as Val and Marty. What do you have?
Yeah, we crossed some debris
Right now.
on I-44, ran over
You
debris
call
on
it Vaughn or Val?
I-44. We are now exiting on Highway 20, and we're going to get east of this, Travis. I'm not seeing anything right now. Oh, yeah, power flashes. Hold on a second, Travis. Hold on.
I'm looking.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we're going to get on Highway 20 and go east. And follow this as it moves to the east and to the northeast.
All right, and hang on, guys, for 1 second. Again, this is on East Country Club Road on the south side of Caremore right now. It's wrapped up where you guys are at this particular moment, and it's from Flint Road on the south side, and then that goes all the way up to East 490 Road. So this is just on the very south side of the downtown, or really of Caremore itself. This is going to be moving along Highway 20 as it moves to the east. So if you're in this area, you need to take cover as this continues to track to the northeast. These are 1-minute updates coming up from our live radar. And where Vaughn is located from East Country Club Road down to Flint Road where Val is located, we continue to have a high probability of a tornado. This is recycling. This has been continuing to recycle as we have gone through the last 2 hours. And so there's a high probability this isn't going to quit for a while longer as we continue. 10,000 people are out of power in the Tulsa area. 10,000 people are also out of power, or customers, we should say, are out of power in Osage County. Most of this has been due to the supercell that has been moving across northern Tulsa County and southeast Osage County. All right, Vaughn, all right, I'm going to go to Val first. Val, it looks like you're on the south side. Do you have any visual on that?
On the ground.
Okay,
yeah, it's
Vaughn?
the tornado is still on the ground. It's straight north of us right now. Straight north of us, about a mile or so. And right now we're on a highway. What is that highway right there? 60. What is that highway? Highway 88. Well, Highway 88. The tornado is north of us, and there's a very, very large debris cloud. Very large debris cloud. This thing is definitely doing damage on the ground. Back to you.
All right, Vaughn, you're also there. I got Val and Vaughn. Vaughn, I see your tornado's on the ground. Give us the location.
Yeah, tornado's on the ground. It just crossed I-44 about 2 minutes ago, right? And that was the debris I ran over, Travis. And it is moving. It is straight. What we got here? Straight south of me right now, Travis.
Okay. All right.
The tornado straight south of me.
All right. That's East Country Club Road right now, and at about 4170 Road. If you're in that area on the southeast side of Caremore, you have to take cover right now. You can see it from Vaughn's video still, even though it's getting dark. That is moving at about 35 miles per hour, possibly even a little bit faster. Tornado on the ground continuing. Vaughn, you can do a play-by-play on that if you want to.
Yeah, right here. It's still on the ground, and it's got some violent motion with it, Travis. I have a feeling it's going to be on the ground for a while. It's got rapid rotation with it. Right now, I'm not seeing a clear, if you got the video straight, but it's still on the ground. It's just you can't see the condensation all the way to it right now.
I can see pretty close to it. It looks pretty scary at this point.
Absolutely.
Marty and Val ran into a debris path. Debris
path.
Debris path.
Debris on I-44. Just about 1 mile south of the Highway 20 exit.
Okay. Did they close that down? Do you know if they're going to have to?
No. I-44 did not close down.
Okay.
But anyway, it's still on the ground. Of course, it's getting darker, so the visibility of it's getting worse. But still on the ground, moving almost due east right now, Travis. So I'm going to get on Highway 20 and move east with it and get back with you.
All right. Again, appreciate it. And Val is on the south side of that right now, and he is located. And again, this is the rotating area. This is the tornado, which is located now, which is from just west of South 4190 Road, and it intersects with East 500 Road near Swan Road. If you are in this area, you need to be taking cover. Again, an actual tornado, which has been on the ground more than it has been off, continues to move to the east at about 35 miles per hour. And Marty has been under this storm as well. Marty, I don't know if you're with me right now. Can you give me an update on what you see? Marty, okay. Marty, if you're with me, can you give me an update on what you've seen?
Yeah, Highway 4160 northbound. Val and I just ran into a debris pass, and we're having a turnaround, backtrack south, and then we're going to get back east on it again. Let me look back out my window right quick, see if I can see. I mean, this thing's been up and down like a pogo stick, guys. It has been all over the place. So I can't see it right now in the tree. So let's go somebody else. Maybe they got a better view of it.
It's a wedge.
All right,
we
got it.
We got a wedge on the ground.
And Vaughn, you back?
Yeah, it's a wedge. It looks like a wedge on the ground right now, Travis.
Okay, guys.
Very, very powerful.
All right.
On Highway, it's still south of Highway. I'm just now getting on
Highway 20 would be. Okay.
20. It's north of Highway 20. Hold on just a second, Travis. We're in some really, really heavy rain right now.
Yeah.
But we just got a glimpse of it before this heavy rain hit me, and it looked like a wedge that was on the ground.
All right.
So very dangerous tornado.
Yes, and we have at this time as well, again, the circulation feature is over southeast Swan Road, and that is moving to the east. And it's along Highway 20 and just east of Vaughn at this time. Marty and Val are on the south side of that, and they're looking back up into that area as well. This is moving to the east at a pretty good clip, and Dick is also mentioning that we have as well. The tornado warning is still in effect for areas just to the east-southeast of Caremore, and this is going to take it along Highway 20, and this will take it from anywhere from 4190 Road to East 490 Road. That will continue to track parallel to Highway 20. And so if you're in this area, we need you to take cover. Obviously, we have a tornado still on the ground, and that goes as far north. We would like for you, again, it's wrapped up big time, and so this is a damaging tornado, so our tornado warning continuing in effect. We have it till 8:15. And is that Vaughn? Okay, Vaughn, if you got the shot there, can you tell us a little bit about what you're seeing?
Okay, there's still a rotation. Yeah, it's still south of 20. The area that's been spinning, there's an area north of me that looks like it's starting to spin too, Travis, north of 20 also.
Yes.
But it is still south 20, the area that had the tornado with it as it crossed I-44. And it's right ahead of me. I'm just about, if that much. So I'm going to slow down here, and I don't know. Is it moving more in an easterly direction, or is it moving northeast, Travis?
It is almost moving due east right now, and it's wrapping up on itself, so it's continuing to cycle, and as it cycles on through, we're getting those continuing new tornadoes to form right along that leading edge of that rotating area. So if you are in the area, and you guys, if Marty is available, we have, and I need a storm track back if you guys could, so I can show folks where it is. Double box for me for a second. Marty, are you there?
Okay, Marty's got it shot up right now. I don't see the tornado on the ground, but we are still moving north on it. Val's just ahead of me. Val and I got the south side covered. Sound like Vaughn's got the north side covered, and we're still moving in on it. I mean, now we're getting more difficult. Here we're at 8:11 p.m. at night. It's getting more difficult to really see this thing, so we've really got to watch our P's and Q's as we move in closer to this storm.
We got to get past
4180 is the road we do.
Whoa!
Oh, power line flash, guys. Power line flash. So it is on the ground. It is on the ground north of us.
It's on the ground right there.
Now.
It's south of 20.
4180. Got it on the ground.
Okay, hold on. Vaughn, is it north or south of 20?
It's south of 20. The power line flashes were south of 20. I'm getting about 70 to 80 mile an hour winds right now.
All right.
On Highway 20, sucking into it, Travis.
Okay, and that's for this storm is headed toward Pryor. So if you are in these areas, you're right in the underneath the wall cloud right now. So you're real close to tornado. Be real careful right in there, guys. Again, you can see it's horrible driving in terms of in nighttime. These guys have to be real careful, but it is wrapped up. The hail core is just on the north side. It's over the turnpike right now. And the main part of this storm, again, the rotating part of this storm is right along Highway 20. If you're any place close to Highway 20 on the north or south side, you need to be taking cover right now. The Craig County storm is starting to weaken a little bit. That had a tornado warning with it, Dick. Okay, thank you. And Dick has been watching the storm to the north, but we are wrapped up on the storm right now as it's moving across South 4200 Road along with Highway 20. That's where Vaughn is located. Val and Marty on the south side. Vaughn, what do you have?
Yep, I think it crossed over Highway 20 right over me, Travis. It crossed Highway 20, and we had at least 80-mile-an-hour winds, as it came across 20. So I believe it is on the north side of 20 right now, but it's pretty close to it. I would not travel on I-20 either way.
No. Highway 20 right now is a place where if you're any place close to Highway 20, you need to be taking cover. This is wrapped up big time at this time, right across the area from, again, Marty's on the south side of that. That's East 500 Road. He's on the south side. And then Vaughn's just in the leading side of this. This is cycled and is coming around upon itself. So this is the rotating area that's rotating around. And so this is literally the wall cloud as it's moving right along and hugging Highway 20. So if you're on either side of Highway 20 right now, you need to be taking cover because of a tornado or at least strong damaging winds are possible any place along this line. Vaughn, one more time. I know you're right ahead of it the way it looks. Did you get out of it?
Yep. Yeah, we did. I had 110-mile-an-hour gust as we were going down 20.
I had 110 gust.
So it is over 20. I think it's hugging right down 20. I don't see anything on the ground, and I'm looking back to the west now. Okay, so there's nothing on the ground, but I wouldn't consider it not on the ground because those winds were violent as we made our way east on 20. So anything in its path.
Got debris. Power lines down.
Debris.
Okay.
Power lines down and debris.
Well, 110-mile-an-hour winds.
Got a couch in the ground.
Okay, and that's near the Tiowa area right now. Again, just have moved through the Tiowa area. And so, Marty, what do you have for us right now, real quick?
Right behind the racetrack. Well, we had a couch in the road. We had power lines down. We are continuing northbound. As soon as I get 4190, we're on 4190 northbound. Here's some more just small tree limbs right there. Now we are intercepting 485, I believe is what it says, which is looks to be a major road.
Yep.
Again,
it's Highway 20.
We're turning right on.
Here's the wall cloud right here.
Turning right,
Here's
which
the wall
would
cloud.
be back to our.
Yeah, I know.
And looking for more power line flashes right now.
All right.
Seeing what we can find up here.
Okay, and
Back to
Vaughn.
you guys.
All right, thanks.
You
And
see
again,
it?
Vaughn's on the leading edge of it. Vaughn, it kind of looks like it's wrapped up just on the north side of Highway 20 right now. Marty and Val have either hail core or not quite sure what's going on right there. But if you guys, Val is in the damage path of it right now. Vaughn, one quick thing. Do you see anything else right around you as you're looking around?
Yeah, there's nothing on the ground right now. It is wrapping up just to the north, maybe a half a mile at the most, north of Highway 20, right by the racetrack. That would be just
we got debris.
Just west of the racetrack.
Okay. Just west of the racetrack? Okay, you got debris. Who said that?
Strong north.
This Val, I'm seeing debris to my north, not a huge area. There's no funnel at all. There's no condensation funnel, but I see debris. I don't know if it's leftover debris, but there's definitely debris in the air. And that is north of Highway 20, probably 3/4 of a mile or a little more maybe.
All right. Yep, and that's just right where it went through. So again, if you're in that area, that would be exactly the path of the tornado. So you guys are in there. The cycle that it's going through right now, it looks like it might have weakened a little bit. There's still a chance that we could have a spin up just to your east, northeast for Marty and Val. The Craig County storm, by the way, is to the north, is starting to reorganize a little bit. And Dick, I'm going to have you get I'm going to have you. Okay, you're in reposition. Okay, and I'll have us get a radar view of that. But as we're looking at what's happening right now, Marty, I see you're following. And okay, Will is over Verdigris right now, looking at some of the damage. It's hard to tell, but obviously there's fire and emergency personnel that are going to have to make sure that people are safe. This is one of those storms that did random damage that could be really bad in a few spots and then skip. It looked like it skipped some homes and it'd come back and get some others. You can see there's, it looks like power is in some areas, but we're right where the emergency vehicles are located right now. Power is out the way it looks at this time to those locations. So again, as Will gets us more pictures and finds out a little bit more about what's going on, hopefully nobody is hurt, but we need to continue again to the east. As this storm continues to track to the east, we're talking about conditions that are favorable for still redevelopment of tornadoes. This is from Vaughn, where Vaughn is located, to Marty. That's still wrapped up. It might be a little bit weaker than it was, but this is on 480 Road where it intersects with 4220 Road. So if you're in that area just south of the Will Rogers Turnpike, this is the highest probability of seeing a tornado at this particular moment. Also, we need to go over to right now, take a look and see what's going on up to the north of us with Dick. Dick, what's happening on that storm to the north?
That storm has gone through several cycles as well. There for a while it looked like it weakened quite a lot. Then it got its act a little bit better. It doesn't look terribly impressive on the radar, but it looks much more impressive on the velocity signature. So I'm tracking the location of the circulation feature, which again is on the southern edge of it. That's going to be taken on through the northern portions of Craig County, headed towards Welch at around 8:43. Blue Jacket at about 8:43 as well. Lots of heavy rain and hail on the north side of it. Circulation feature continues to kind of come and go on the south side of it. We have had a few indications of a possible tornado on the ground occasionally with it. It has obviously not been of quite the intensity of the storm further south that you've been covering, Travis. It's obviously been the dominant cell, but this one has certainly been going through several cycles, and right now it looks like it's kind of gotten its act together, at least for a short time. We'll see how it holds together for the next several minutes, Travis.
Okay, thanks, Dick. I appreciate that. And again, going back to our storm that's been producing a tornado along the whole path, that looks like it's a little bit weaker. The velocities have come down just a little bit on that. We still have a tornado warning remaining until 9 o'clock tonight. That'll be for northwestern Mays and central Rogers County. That storm now from just east of Tioga, northeast of Tioga, is moving to the east-northeast. So it started moving back northeast a little bit. It seems like once it tries to turn east, that's when it starts to rotate a little bit more. We call it a right turner. So that becomes more of a tornado event at that point. Vaughn is on that. Marty, Val, they're all under it right now. Let's go over to Vaughn to start off with. Vaughn, it looks like you're on the leading edge of it, and it looks a little bit weaker, and it's now to your north by about a mile or so. What do you have for us?
That's correct. I'm looking back to my west-northwest at a lowering here. There's nothing on the ground that I can see, Travis. But, yes, I agree. It does look like it's become a little weaker from my vantage point. But, of course, it's dark, and all we can go by is the lightning flashes right now. But I agree, Travis, there's nothing on the ground right now that I can see. Good thing, and we'll keep following it here as it moves east.
All right. I appreciate it, Vaughn. Thank you so much. Let's go on over to Val, your brother, and take a look a little bit from Val's perspective. What do you have, Val?
Okay, just ditto what Vaughn said. Don't see anything on the ground at the moment. We had another power flash about 3 or 4 minutes ago, but I don't see any funnels at the moment. I don't see. It looks like to me it is lifted, but you know how fast these things come back. I mean, this thing can come back in a hurry. Right now, it appears that the biggest danger is going to be north of Highway 20, probably north of our location, and maybe even a little northeast of our location. So we're just kind of traveling east on Highway 20. You're going to keep watching it. Back to you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Val. Appreciate it. Marty, I know Marty's moving along as well. Not too far from you. Marty, have you seen it? Obviously, you're passing by some emergency vehicles, and I guess there's probably storm spotters and everybody else out there. What have you seen? Anything else?
No more debris on the ground that I can see, but I'm pretty sure it's just off to our left, which I believe is to the north. Sorry about the directions right now, but we are still watching this area. Like Val said, this thing is cycling. This thing is cycling on again, off again. So it's something we've really got to watch as it exits the state. We are still looking at a rain-free basin behind here, and 67 degrees. Back to you guys, because I don't see anything on the ground right now.
Okay. All right, Marty, thanks so much. Again, Marty Logan is the guy who's in northwest Oklahoma, who we were taking his shots last week with that big 500,000-acre fire that was going all over up by Alva and into southwest Kansas. So, again, Marty's kind of traveling the state right now. This is a view from Owasso right now. We continue with our tornado warning at this time to the east of Owasso, and still wrapped up and so we still have circulation feature going on in that particular area. But we do want you to know that at least that it has weakened a little bit, but it's still wrapped up on itself. And again, it's near and closer to the circulation center now is over the Will Rogers Turnpike. So this is north of where Vaughn is and Val and Marty. So this has moved a little bit further to north. Could be recycling right now over the turnpike. So if you're around East 460 Road and around the North Road of 42, I should say, that'd be 4250 Road. There is a high indication now that we could see a new circulation developing right around that area from East 460 Road and the intersection of 4250 Road, which is just right at the turnpike. And so if you're in that area, we do need you to be advised for the potential, again, for this wrapping up. So I have to tell Vaughn and Val and also Marty that they're going to have to be looking a little bit further to the north and east and get probably repositioned a little bit, as that is cycling in on itself at this particular moment in that area that's located just to the north. Again, you see that black area. This is a hail core that is just to the north. Now, there's a high probability that this is going to be moving right along this leading edge. It is into cooler air. There is a chance that this could weaken, but our tornado warning continues to show up with a lot of potential, as we're starting to see that a lot of problems with power outages being reported now, houses having been hit in the southern Caremore area, southeast of Caremore, and we do feel that there's going to be a lot of homes, a lot of outbuildings that have been hit from this. It's just been on the ground way too long. They are starting to weaken just a little bit. That's also National Weather Service also mentioning that as well. There is an area, though, that still runs from about Coffeyville down into Mays and Rogers County that still has severe weather potential. So if you are in these areas, we do need you to still be prepared to move to a place of safety. The tornado warning, which has been in effect for this entire area, continues for this zone. So if you are in an area that runs from right along the I-44 area, this is going to be just to the west, northwest of Caremore and to the southwest of Adair. That tornado warning continues in effect until 9:30, but the main circulation feature right now almost at the intersection of 4250 North Road and where it intersects with East 450 Road, and that's right near the Will Rogers Turnpike. So the circulation feature is still there, and still a probability that we could have a tornado come out of that at any time. So that's why we need you to still be very much aware. That's why the tornado warning continues in effect for this same area, as it looks like we're going to continue to have some issues out of that. Dick's been watching the storm to the north, up around the Hollow and Welch area. Dick, I'm going to have you do a quick update on that while we have a small break here on the storm that's to the east.
Yeah, that storm is still showing a fairly strong circulation, Travis, so that it continues to be a concern. Now, again, we've not had any confirmation of anything actually on the ground, and it has gone through several cycles, it would appear. Right now, it's just to the west of the Welch area. Should be moving in on Welch over about the next 15 to 20 minutes, as you can see. Moving through the northern portions there of Craig County. Basically, soon be crossing Highway 10 and then possibly into the Highway 59 area as it moves through those particular locations. So that particular storm continues to show evidence of a pretty strong circulation feature. There I'm showing you the velocities on that just to give you a quick idea of what we're looking at there. So that particular storm, again, moving east-northeast at about 30 miles an hour, has been weakened there for a while. Then it got its act together. Then it seems to be going through several cycles right now, so be keeping a close eye on that to kind of reposition everything here. And you can again see the Welch area at around 8:44. Current time is 8:26. So again, moving through the northern portions of Craig County for that storm up in that area, which continues to have a tornado warning. Travis?
All right, thanks, Dick. And again, there's a little bit weaker and kind of better news in the sense that looking at the new velocities, which are the indicators of how fast the storm is rotating at this time, that has weakened considerably. So we're much, much more at peace with that. But unfortunately, it hasn't changed the fact that we still have a pretty high probability that right along 460 Road to the north, and this would extend even a little bit further to the north. This would take it right up to the Will Rogers Turnpike. We still have this area that's dominated by this circulation feature. In fact, I'm going to use the arrows to kind of show how this is positioned. And so this is the main centroid, if you want to call it that, of where the highest probability of a circulation feature and a possibility of still a tornado exists, right in this zone. I'm going to zoom in on that quickly. The Craig County tornado warning, Dick's just telling me, is canceled right now. So if you're in Craig County, that tornado warning has been canceled. It has weakened and gone below severe limits. We still have a rotating area. It's a small rotating area that's on from 460 Road North. And then that extends as all these numbers get smaller. As you get older, you don't like that. But that extends then from just about East 450 Road to East 460 Road. And then that goes all the way to the east, and that goes along right around 429 Road to the east. So again, if you're in this zone, there's still a possibility, if you're in this rural area just to the east of the turnpike, that there is a chance that you could still see a tornado. So to recap what we have so far, we know that about 10,000 customers are without power in Tulsa County. We have about 10,000 customers without power also in Osage County. We know that there's been multiple homes hit. We do not have any information yet. The news team, we're going to be taking over here as the storms start to die down, but they'll have more information on how many injuries might have occurred. So far, we haven't heard of any, at least in the weather desk. We'll have news coming up here in just a little bit with some information. But overall, there's still the potential for a tornado if you are east of Tiowa, which is east of Caremore. And we're still going to be watching this very closely because that's still in an area which, again, we had tornadoes going on as we had with live Osage Sky News 6 going on for a while. Again, the tornadoes were touching down just almost nonstop as it went just on the south side of Owasso along 56th Street. So 9 people have been transported to area hospitals at this time. So that's the latest updates from the newsroom. And again, as I said, Scott will be along in just a little bit with and Megan in just a little bit with some more information on that. But we do need to go back for a minute, and I do want to track a little bit on this storm just to let you know that that continues to be in a zone where there is still a tornado warning, and the extension of the tornado warning is for good cause because we still have it rotating in upon itself right now. This has been a supercellular structure that has gone on the entire time, and so right at the apex of this is where we're most concerned at this time as it continues to move. We're getting updates within every hour, or within every minute, I should say, of what's going on as we have our live Pathfinder feeding into this, and so this is will be right along 4260 east, about right in here, and then that extends to really around 430 East Road, and then on the south side about 450 Road, and then that'll go all the way to the east, which would take it along about 4229 Road on the east side. So this is the main core that we're most concerned with. If you're in this core, you need to be into a shelter away from outside windows and walls just to be on the safe side. There are probably some strong damaging winds of still 50, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour that are gusting out in this particular zone that's on the south side. So you could get power outages. Don't forget as well, and I haven't mentioned this, but if you have a laptop, iPhone, you can stream live and you do not have to worry if the TV signal goes out, because I know a lot of people have satellite dishes, and a lot of times that goes out and everybody goes, well, we lost you and I don't know how we're going to get you. Just remember, you can pick us up just on your cell phone. It's that easy, and we do live streaming anytime we have events like this, anytime we have major news events, so please do that. It's desktop or mobile streaming is you can do. So just all you need is a little electricity in your cell phone or a mobile device, and you are in good shape, and you can follow us along. A tornado warning still is continuing in effect for some of these areas. Again, this is the main storm that we're concerned with. I've been zoomed in on this storm so much. We're going to back out a little bit and show you perspective of where it has been. Storm to the north is still a severe thunderstorm warning in northern Nowata County. That's still one cell that won't quit giving. Heavy rain, severe weather, potential with gusty winds with that. Pascal is on one of the cells also, who has been, he was on a storm that we had tornado warnings in northern Osage County, northern Washington County. This cell pretty much has gone nonstop across this area. It went kind of started to develop around the Pawnee County area, then moved into southeastern Osage County, and then right across Owasso into Caremore, and now is located just on the north side of Pryor. So this is why we're going to continue to monitor this. This supercell, though, the one good thing is it's getting into colder air, and that should pretty much knock it out to where we should be in better shape. We are expecting to continue to cover this storm for a while, and we do have crews in the field. We are going to go to our news teams in just a little bit. Bouncing out a little bit, none of the storms down in southeast Oklahoma materialized like what a lot of computer models thought they would. We did anticipate there would be a few of these storms. There was a high probability of hail and wind. Guess what we get? We get a tornado, so it's welcome to spring. Dick has been watching that storm to the north as well. well. I'm going to do one quick update here, and Dick, I'm going to give it to you then so you can cover that storm to the north a little bit more. We have Vaughn, Val, Marty, all on that cell. Again, this is moving up toward the Adair area with a tornado warning still in effect. Velocities are not nearly as strong as they were, but there's still a rotating area which we're concerned with that continues to show up. This is here's Adair, community of Adair, right in here. And Vaughn is moving up in that area, and I think Marty and Val will too, so we can kind of get a perspective along this line. Circulation feature is still the strongest, located on East 430 Road, where it intersects right now with 4229 Road. So if you're in this area, we do need you to still be very much aware that there are at least some rotating areas that are of concern right in that one zone, that apex area. Then I'll come in a little bit closer. So the circulation is still showing up there. And Dick, I'm going to have you look at that north storm if you would for a minute. And I'm going to get a little bit of water.
Yeah, okay, we'll do, Travis. I want to point out, by the way, there's a couple of north storms up there. We've kind of ignored the one back to the west because that has not been the one that has been tornadic. However, it is severe with likely causing some hail there in the northern part of Nowata County between Nowata and Coffeyville. The storm that has had tornado warnings associated with it, and we've had some reports of some brief touchdowns, is still showing a weak circulation feature there on the southern side of it. It has been weakening, though, and has been losing some of its organization. Right now, as you can see, it is just to the northwest of